What's up, everybody? Shawn here with another live Live to Roll. Bobby's hanging out here with me too. He just needed
I'm
a second
here.
to get on. He'll be on just a quick second here. But
I'm having
welcome,
breakfast.
everybody. Happy New Year's Eve or Happy New Year's. If you're maybe in another country and already celebrating New Year's. Um, but yeah, welcome, everybody. And we're kind of just going to have a really relaxed hangout type of show today. If you have any questions, anything you want to talk about, please drop it in the chat. Feel free to bring anything up. No real structure or anything today. We're kind of just going to hang out. It is New Year's Eve and just kind of relax and spend some time with you guys. The Live to Roll crew, everybody that wants to hang out is welcome.
Mhm.
And all right, Bobby, ready?
Yeah. I had a wardrobe. No, it's not a wardrobe malfunction. My brake has just been giving me problems with these diesel locks.
Oh.
So I just my daughter's aide came in and my wife hates doing the wrench stuff. So I was like, wait, before you leave. But what's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome in. Happy New Year tomorrow, or Happy New Year's Eve. Oh, you're on mute. Wow, a bunch of technical difficulties.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I had clicked the mute for a second there. But yeah, so welcome everybody. Happy New Year's Eve, New Year's, whatever you want to call it. I know if our friend Andrew does join in, he gets midnight his time in the UK when we have our 4 o'clock. I remember because last week he told us that it was Christmas officially for him halfway through the show.
Oh,
So we'll
really?
see. We'll see. He might be, if he does join us, he'll be celebrating New Year's out there in the UK.
Yeah.
But welcome everybody. Welcome Ben. Nice to see you, man. Hope you're hanging out, doing well. Um, how's everything been, anyways, man? I know you probably been busy lately. Still, you always pop in the chat, just say hi, fist bump and stuff. But love to hear from you too, man. And see if you're doing anything for the night. Bobby, you doing anything tonight? Are you staying up till midnight?
Staying home, man. Staying where it's relatively quiet and not be out there with all the crazy people. And I don't think it gets as crazy like it probably used to, but I could be wrong because I always stay home every year for New Year's, and usually we have our friends over, and they were supposed to be here on Saturday, and then she pulled her back, and then a few days later he pulled it, her husband pulled his back. So it was just didn't happen. They didn't drive down from Fresno, so that's a little bummer. But it's just the wife and I. Probably watch some TV. We started Landman
Oh, I
TV
saw.
show on
I think I
Paramount.
saw a preview, a trailer for that.
Yeah, so we'll probably try to get into that again a little bit more, dive into it, and then once she falls asleep, I'll catch up on a couple more Squid Game 2.
Oh,
Um, yeah, she won't watch that, but so I'm on, I think, episode 5.
okay, nice. Yeah, that one I haven't actually watched the second season of that. I remember watching the first one; it was cool. Um, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you too, Roy, in the chat. And Ben just gonna be sitting there alone, gonna play PlayStation. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of us are probably just kind of relaxing for the night. We plan to be. I know we'll celebrate New Year's with the East Coast. At 9 o'clock is probably. I don't think I'm making midnight usually. It's been a while since we've been up at midnight, like actually like up. You know, to be awake and watching something or doing something, hanging out.
Yeah,
That's not really our lifestyle. So, but that's cool. Like we'll be up, I'm sure, a little earlier, and we'll be in bed. Celebrate at 9. We'll celebrate the East Coast. That's.
yeah.
uh,
I think I'm the same way. I don't even remember the last time I made it to midnight. or just but trying to stay up and do a celebration. Like I'm sure even last night, I was having the worst spasms ever when I got in bed for some reason. It just would not stop. And so I know I was up and way past midnight to 1 or 2. So that's why I'm pretty sure I won't make it tonight. Hopefully they won't do the same as they did last night. It was just the oddest thing. Yeah, you lay down and all of a sudden oh geez, oh gee, you like every breath you take, you're just like, all right, relax, and moving my feet around and my hips around, and just nothing.
Dang, yeah, that is frustrating. I've had a few nights like that really recently too. I don't know what it is. I with just like really restless legs, and then in the morning too, like they're just so sensitive and so hard to like. I'll stretch them and I sit there because I stretch for like an hour every morning, or close to, like 45 minutes to an hour, depending. Like, kind of just get each leg because my hips and stuff are so tight through the night. Like my body, my whatever reason, my like at like my thighs want to cross. Like my knees want to be on the other sides of each other all the time. Like so like it's just I'm constantly trying to stretch my hips out because they want to be in, like they want to crisscross.
Weird. So they
So
want to scissor. They want to scissor on you, right?
yeah, they want to just constantly be scissored. So yeah, those are which is a pain in the ass to deal with. And then the other one that's a pain in the ass is I get the one. I don't know if you get this or not, but my legs will want to kick up to my chest, like and kind of put me into that ball, and then they'll sit there and like settle for just a second, and then full strength extend out, like and try to straighten out. I'm like,
Yeah, that's my morning.
yep.
That's my
So
morning. Like
that's
somebody, my wife will accidentally, or I'll take the sheets off, and as soon as the sheets do something to my feet, it's like, what? Oh, boom, boom, boom. You're like, oh, just it feels like you just like somebody jacked your back for a wonderful. It's a wonderful, yeah. Um, for like 10 seconds, it's just like, oh,
yeah. No, it is. It sucks. And that's what I actually thought last week. I kind of trying to figure out what is going on. And oh, real quick, Happy New Year to Shawn. Also, I'll be hanging out at home. Good to see you too. Thanks for joining. Um, and
and Roy popped
Roy's
in.
watching A Wonderful Life. And then Ben asked you about the second season if you liked it, but I was just gonna mention just real quick. I actually last week thought I had a UTI. Like I thought for sure because before my catheter change, I had started leaking pee a little bit. Like I was getting bladder spasms and like just felt really terrible. Like I felt like I had body aches. Like it felt like a UTI. And then I did my catheter change, which still didn't see like it helped slightly, but then still kept leaking for a couple of days. And I did a urine culture the day before the catheter change and came back with the urologist that there's no UTI. So I'm kind of like in one of those like I'm
Dumbfounded.
not sure what's going on here because my body, like I was getting body aches and body fatigue, like crazy AD, the peeing, the leaking, which did stop a couple of days after the catheter change. But I'm trying to figure it out. I actually think it might be something to do with like my digestion and like GI like tract like stuff like because it feels like I have really bad gas when sometimes also like bloating and I'll see what looks like an alien moving around in my stomach like or over my bladder like it's like I don't know if it's air pockets or what but like it looks like I got a little alien gonna try to come through there but
Yeah.
scary.
Now that you say it, and I thought this morning, my spasms last night were because trapped air,
Uh-huh.
and because then this morning when I woke up, you know my colostomy was like cool, big, full, but it's all air. As soon as I open it up, there's not a lot there, but it's just air. So I'm pretty sure that was probably some of the culprit of my spasms last night.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Air like gas and things in your like man, they can really be uncomfortable and cause some discomfort. And the AD and the spasms and like man, I don't know if anybody else out there has issues with that and stuff. But yeah, that's like definitely
Sucks
trying to
getting
figure
old.
out.
Sharks getting old,
That
Sonny.
is, yeah, that is true, man. I do feel that. I'm like, man, I now 42 now, so I'm like, feel like, yeah, I'll be to 50 before I realize. I think it's one of those. It just
Yeah,
time.
it goes fast, Sean. So enjoy while you got it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. As my wife, I don't know what we were driving, and I finally made her from start to finish watch Die Hard for the Christmas movie,
Nice.
and so I something. It was somebody that walked into a store. I can't remember, and she just went, "Welcome to the party, pal," you know, and it was just like, I go, I cannot believe you did that. And that is so sweet. I'm so proud of her. But that's how it feels like when you get to when you come joining us, Sean. It's like, welcome to the party, pal.
I like it. I
Your
like
skin's
that.
not the same. Your bowels aren't the same. Your shoulders hurt. Your neck hurts. You know, we in my fitness group we have a group me page where we send messages and different categories of stuff, and then somebody put a celebration quarter label up and asked, what are your New Year's goals? And everybody was talking about fitness and health and blah blah blah. And I'm like, my goal is just to wake up without saying "ouch" in 2025. That's my goal. And then I said, "Oh yeah, and I'll do a couple extra miles." We got grandma in the house. We got mom in the house. The
uh,
wifey's in the house.
yeah, definitely got family support in here on the
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, hanging out, and hope everybody else is uh, was able to spend some time with family through the holidays and stuff here. And if you're not doing anything for New Year's tonight, which I think a lot of us are kind of just in that same boat, just gonna be relaxing for the evening, taking it easy. Uh, but yeah, it's been a lot of years since I've like gone out somewhere on a New Year's, yeah, New Year's Eve. I don't
Yeah.
actually remember the last time I went like out to some sort of like a party or anything like. I feel like I've been getting old for a while.
I'm gonna get to Ben's question or
Oh yeah,
ask me
mention
about something,
yeah,
and then I want to ask you something, Sean. But season two so far, it. The concept, right, of Squid Game. So you're thinking it's going to be the same, and uh, but now we have a character that we all know and won the game, so it takes off from there, and so it really is a fresh new season. And yeah, they finally get into the game, but you're thinking like, oh, this is going to be the same, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden there's a little twist. So I just got through the first little twist of the games, and I was like, okay, I'll finish it. Try to you're reading. It's so funny on Squid Games. I don't know if you remember this, Sean, but you're reading the captions. I always have closed captions on, and then
yeah,
what they're dubbing in for English
is
do not
different.
always match up.
No,
You're like,
on a lot of different foreign films and shows and
yeah,
stuff. I have noticed that the whoever does the dubbing is a little bit different than does the closed captions because they do slightly change. Like you
probably
can
not
tell
the
the
same
gist of
person.
what they're saying is the same, but it is different. Like it'll be worded like completely different.
Yeah. I don't know why this year is driving me crazy on this one. I'm just like, okay, I get it. Somebody get on the right queue or something. So, but enough with TV, but and that stupid violence. Uh, talk about 2024. So, what were you happy about 2024, and what are you looking forward to in 2025?
um, well, I got married in 2024, which was definitely nice and a big, like change in my life and been really good and been trying to like make some like really positive changes in a lot of stuff in my life. So that has been good this year. I have struggled with some stuff and kind of like figuring out like how to be a little more organized and responsible with some stuff. Because I think for most of my life, I've sort of just kind of gone along and figured things would all work out, fall, like, and now, yeah. So I've kind of tried to take a little bit more control of my life this year and trying to, have more balance and just focusing on health and a lot of that kind of stuff too, with like health and family and
And,
and for, yeah, what?
and it probably helps. It probably helps being that you have a partner now, and because you're responsible for somebody else too, and not responsible as you're taking care of her, but you know, you want, you're not in this for the short run. I mean, when we talk about marriage, it's a commitment, and so if you're going to make a commitment to somebody, you got to make a commitment to yourself to be, the partner that you displayed to be for her, and that she, kind of fell for you for her. So I think that helps, and go realize, yeah, I kind of have to grow up.
Yeah, no, it does. It helps a lot. Yeah, and it is a lot different when you're not just thinking about yourself and like like actions and consequences like that might come for that are on you, but when you have a partner involved, it is different, and it's and I've been learning that over this year and kind of you know trying to adjust everything and like kind of get more uh just get to be a better partner all around, for sure. And that is one of
Yeah.
my goals for 2025, is just kind of continue my own like personal growth, um, and mental health journey as well and growth, and just kind of building a life and partnership. So that's one of my main focuses for this next year, and yeah, that's for like personal life stuff. That's definitely my main focus. I have some goals and things for Live to Roll as well going, and hopefully this next year will be a good one for this too. But yeah, for the personal life, that's pretty much my thoughts. And yeah, next year just really want to kind of I I feel like there's, when you first do enter a partnership, there's a lot of things that compromise and things and changes, and like you kind of have to like work two lives together. And so I feel like I did struggle with that a little bit this year. So I am trying to just kind of focus on that and be moving forward next year with kind of having that in mind and trying to
It's a
be
learning,
what?
yeah, it's a learning process. It's a learning process. And
Yeah.
I mean, I still don't have it right after 20 years. Yeah. Or I haven't perfected it. Let's just say some, maybe I make more mistakes now than I did at the beginning. But, we're human, and it goes both ways. So, I mean,
And that's what
like,
life is about, growth and change, and things aren't going to stay the same year to year, and you're always going to have changes, and growth is always good and stuff. So
changes and challenges too. I
challenges,
mean,
yeah.
if it's her health, your health, a health of a family member, it can hold strain. I mean, my wife and I always joke around, like the first little struggle was, dealing with her ex-husband, and he was uh, he was a pretty much, I'll just say it right out, a big asshole, and called me roller boy, which I put that on my license. When our daughter, my stepdaughter would go and spend the weekend, and she would come home, and all our stuffed animals had their legs cut off, and pretty morbid stuff, and some threatening voicemails from time to time. It's challenging. And
Yeah,
then
that was hard
when
at first.
Yeah, and then when Melody did get sick, it was strenuous on us. And then from time to time, I've been down. And then about 3 years ago, she was down with it, with a stroke, a brain aneurysm, which is basically a stroke to the head. And, it's just one thing after another, and you become stronger, but it's a struggle.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's definitely that's what the struggles and stuff do. They help you build character and strength for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, and that has nothing. That's before you uh, put on the disability part, and spread that little condiment on. I mean, excuse me, can you help me, or can you do this for me? And uh, I
yeah,
need your hand, and throughout the day when you're living together, and especially now that we're both retired, it's tough.
yeah. No, definitely. Those are things that I am learning and trying to figure out and kind of yeah, get kind of find the path through. Like
Yeah.
and kind of like I said, just keep growing from each experience and stuff. Like learning from things and trying to do better. In the future for the next time. So just yeah, that's
Mhm.
definitely important. So what about you then, Bobby? What are your highlights for the year, or what you some of the good things that happened for this year, and then what are you looking forward to or goals for next year?
Um, I think the biggest thing, and knock on wood, it's 4 o'clock here on the Pacific Standard Time, so I got still 7 more hours to make sure I'm not in the hospital. But I was just happy I didn't have to go like to an ER one time, or spend the night in a hospital. Um, it's always great when because I would say the last 7 years, at least one time or another, I had a ER trip, or a hospital stay, UTI or this or that, um, my butt, a couple of years ago, and then my heart. So it was just nice not to be in the hospital. That was the best thing, And then learning to play again, now that I'm retired, and trying to get out and on my hand cycle, which I was loving, and looking at how many miles I did this for 2024. I think my goal 2025 is to add 500 more miles than I did last year.
How many
You
did you do this year, out of curiosity?
know, 1,500 after all said and done.
1,500. Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. That's more than 100 a month. I mean, that's a lot of miles. That's a
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good, man. That's awesome. And I was just
Yeah.
gonna say real quick, Andrew in the chat, sorry you're in the hospital, man, but I think it's about to be New Year's for you, so happy New Year's in a couple of minutes here. You put that it's 23:56, which I believe is, the
Almost. Yeah. Four
military
minutes.
time, so it's about to be
Yeah.
2400.
4 minutes away. Yeah.
So
Sweet,
yeah,
Andrew.
happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
He'll be the first on the show here to celebrate. So awesome. Congratulations. Happy New Year. Hope you have a nice year next year. I know he's
Isn't
had
it?
some, what?
Isn't it Australia? I think Australia is the
The
first.
first, something like that.
Yeah, I remember when Y2K happened, and they're like, "All right, so Australia just became, year 2000. It seems like all computers are working." Because I was in Vegas for Y2K, or outside. We went outside of Vegas to this. Oh God, where was it? Oh, I can't even remember. It's on the borderline of Utah, but some casinos out there. So it was cool because it wasn't that crowded.
That's actually coming to think of it. I'm like, that might have been the last time I did like a New Year's. I actually did do a New Year's Eve in Vegas because we had this guy James from England
Oh
playing
yeah.
rugby for us for Northridge, and he wanted to like that was what he wanted to do while he was in the U.S. for New Year's was he wanted to do Vegas and nobody was going with him. So me and my brother Michael ended up like on New Year's Eve morning driving out there. Literally like drove out New Year's Eve, drove home New Year's Day, like just a straight. It was honestly a like kind of a rough trip. It was fun, I guess, but not. It was too, and that was probably 10 years ago now. So that was honestly the last time I think. Yeah, that
Ah,
had
see,
yeah that actually no more than 10 years ago. That was probably like 2012. So It was a while ago.
We got Sam, and Sam is already in 2025 because he
Oh,
says I'm from
oh, and
Australia. So
Sonia
Sam,
from
happy
Germany, it's
New Year.
already 2025 also.
Yep, there you go, Sonia.
Awesome. Well, happy New Year's, Sam,
Wow,
Sonia.
everybody
That's
around the world. That's awesome.
It's almost 1 a.m. there. Well, thank you for joining us and staying up so late, both you guys. That's really cool. We got awesome international audience today hanging out with us, so that's fun. We got a lot of the world covered here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, it's funny that you should say James. I did see a picture of myself, James, and Jared in Vegas one time, and it's the only time you've ever seen like a cigarette out in my mouth, smoking a cigarette with with the beer doing a wheelie, and we're all on the balcony. And I was just like, "What the heck was it?" We're on some balcony hotel in downtown on that front street. Oh man, I was just like, and I had a cigarette in my like what? Who am I? And it's just like only James, and James was from the UK, so
Yeah.
uh, he liked his cigs.
Oh yeah, he smoked. That's one thing I remember about James is he sounded, and I know it wasn't from smoking cigarettes, is because he had like a scar from his trach or whatever, but he had that voice, that thick, raspy, like just rough English voice. Like it
Yeah.
was, but he was cool. I like James. I know he ended up he had a daughter and stuff and got married and everything, and hopefully he's
Mhm.
doing well. I haven't probably seen him in the 10 years or something, but
I'll catch him
shout
on.
out to him in the UK.
Yeah, I'll catch him on Facebook every once in a great while. When I go on, all of a sudden he does pop up.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Oh, and Andrew put Happy New Year. It's
There you
four,
go.
so
Happy
it
New
means
Year.
it's midnight there. Happy New Year, Andrew, and Happy New Year, like we said to our other uh,
Germany,
yeah.
Australia, UK.
Sam asked what our plans for 2025. We were talking about a little bit like personal plans is just a lot of trying to really just continue some personal growth and kind of building a partnership and family life with my wife and kind of trying to build a future. So just working on that and kind of trying to stay healthy, especially like both facts that I'm getting older. I also now have like you mentioned a partner. The other thing is like trying to watch. You want to be healthy for them too because like I don't want to have a bunch of health issues and have to have to do a bunch of extra stuff for me and do like like all these things like that add up. So that's just happy healthy life next year is my
And yeah, and that's always a goal for I think for a lot of us. And um, but one thing that I'm gonna watch, and I did it. Hey, Nicole, long time no see.
welcome.
Um, yeah,
Good to
Happy
see you.
New Year. One thing, I'm a guy who likes his a glass of wine or two at dinner, whiskey now, and in September I did a dry September, and it was awesome. And I think I'm gonna be doing that more often, and cut out the alcohol, and
Are you
I
gonna quit? You gonna stop completely, or kind of just do like every other month, like kind of just take months or time
like not
periods?
even months, but be more considerate to my body with alcohol, like
Okay, good. Yeah, good
and
idea.
if it's a Saturday night, yeah, have a drink, but just be more responsible with it. I would say,
Good.
there's some nights I can, I get done with the day and done with coaching, and I get out in the living room and we're cooking. Next thing I know, I'm on my second, and then by the end of the night, my third glass of whiskey. And it's just like, I'm doing it because yeah, my body's in pain. But it's not a good way to take away pain, and I know that. So it's only going to make you feel sluggish the next day, and so I
Yeah.
think that's one of my goals is to keep better ways of coping with pain and managing to take away that alcohol crave that I think I need sometimes on the end of a day. Um,
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that is good, man. That sounds like a great healthy thing because alcohol definitely is not the easiest on your body. I know in excess, for sure, I know that. But even just having like the drink or two, like if you're doing it in moderation, I know some people can do that and it works for them and stuff. But I guess it all depends on your body and personal health. But yeah, that's something that I know for me because uh, it's been quite a few years since I've been drunk. Like I was trying. I think it was 2018 was
yeah, I've never seen
when
you
I
really
missed
drink.
Thanksgiving. No, you never really see me drink. And even when I did, even from that point for the like up until like maybe a couple years ago when I like really fully just stopped, like I would have like maybe a beer out with friends because like everybody else is doing it kind of thing, and I would typically just have a beer or two like at dinner or out with people, and it wouldn't really do much for me, but it would almost always screw my bladder up, and I would feel like I would have like just shittier AD and like mild like UTI symptoms for a few days after. So that's what it just sort of like got more and more to where it was just not like it's just too hard on my body, and like I don't have the enjoyment I ever really did out of drinking. Like it just not fun for me. Like it had like I always just feel like shit. So
Well,
so for
especially when
me,
it screws with your bladder, and see, it never screwed with my bladder. You know, yeah, I can notice like maybe if I didn't, and I've always made sure if I'm drinking water too, so I
yeah,
don't have that combo. I mean, I know when I was younger, um, it would it if I wasn't drinking the water, yeah. The next morning, I look at my results and I'm like, whoop, need to drink water today. But now I don't have that problem anymore. And yeah, grandma, alcohol does just cause more pain. Um, so it's not a fun thing. Thinking of something that happened good for me in 2024 relating to our bodies, but it was the first full year. Like I did not. I was very vigilant at taking my vitamin C in the morning at night. So 2,000, I think, is it milligrams or whatever, for it's a little high on the vitamin C, but my urologist said give it a try. And then my one a day, you're just active general that covers a little bit of everything. Um, Taking that every day, I did not have one issue with my bladder this year.
so
I've had not meaning knock on wood, but meaning like a UTI. I mean, I felt
that's
like, ooh, something's coming, but nothing that I ever had to worry about. Nothing that it was more about my other catheter issues, but not bladder issues.
yeah, no, see, actually, that's one thing I forgot to mention before. So I didn't end up having a UTI, when I got tested just this last week. Um, and I was already thinking, well, that's fine. Like if I have a UTI, no problem. It'll literally be the first time in 2024 I've had to do antibiotics because all year long I have had good bladder health. I've had issues with the catheter sticking. Like it was getting stuck in my bladder and like literally had to go to the ER the one time to have the ER doctor basically like rip it out of me. Um, and there was like bloody messes multiple times. Those were rough. But even with all those issues, I never actually got it. Same, I never got a UTI where I needed antibiotics. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I had those bladder issues, and I still have like weird discomfort when the catheter tube seems really sensitive, and I do have to figure out what's kind of going on with me. But like UTI
Well, you're
wise,
putting, Sean, yours is a garden hose, 24 French. That's like putting a garden hose.
yours is a 22, right? It's not that
No,
much smaller.
no, I'm a 20. I'm a
Oh, you're
20.
the 20. That's right. You're the 20.
Yeah, I've been wanting to try a 22, but I was just giving you a hard time. Like,
No,
first
I
time I
know.
saw a 24, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. And it wasn't yours, it was a friend of mine. I'm like, hey, do you have a catheter? And he's like, yeah. And he hands it to me, and I was like, no way, I'm not putting that thing in my.
And that could be part of it. And I will definitely make sure to shout out Leah because she has been the one solely for this whole year, like cleaning and maintaining my bags and catheter and stuff. And so like I have to give her credit for I feel like not having that because I typically have at least 1 to 2 UTIs a year. That's kind of like my typical. Every year, I'll typically take antibiotics at least once, but so a lot of times twice in like a calendar year. So yeah, I have to shout out. And I do notice how much cleaner, more sterile she does things than I have previously had. Uh, Especially like me changing catheters myself and stuff, which I still think that I do pretty. I have done some myself this year, and again, no UTI, so my practices aren't terrible. I'm, but I think before some of my past caregivers didn't do a very good job of cleaning the bags and maintaining a lot of that stuff. So I have to give credit where credit is due.
It's
uh,
so many. It's so awesome to see a lot of like Nicole came in, and I haven't seen you in a while. Quad Life, it
yeah,
seems like,
welcome Quad Life.
and Leon just. I think Leon just got here. Yeah, so welcome back. Welcome in, Leon. Happy New Year to all of you, and yes, thanks for the blessings and.
And he
Um,
also said Leon just said he also hasn't needed antibiotics. So that's good. Good year for the quads and antibiotics and UTIs. That's awesome. Go us guys. And
yeah,
I was gonna real quick also mention to Leon. One thing I also learned this year from my new urologist, because I did switch urologists this year as well, to a local one here. Um, when the catheter was getting stuck, my nurse before would kind of go like back and forth and kind of like pull in different directions and stuff. And it would just feel like she's literally going to rip my bladder out. So, what this
when pulling,
doctor actually
wait,
did,
when pulling
yeah,
it out,
like with it deflated, everything deflated, they'll pull on it and it just won't come. You'll literally see my bladder like looks like it's pulling up, like it's not coming out. Like that thing is
stick with
stuck.
the wall.
No,
Yeah.
and like that's what I was saying. Like, and it would get so stuck they'd have to like yank it out. But the one thing I learned from the show sucks. No, hey, you want
We love
David?
you,
You
David.
want on the show, bro? Tell me right now. Send me a text. I think you have my number. I can text you the link. We'll join. You can join in for
We'd
the
love to have you
last
on, but
15, 20 minutes here. But I just want to give the Leon a tip or anybody. So what he showed us and what Leah's been doing now, before they pull out, they actually spin the catheter, like they twist the tube like vertically, like in a 360, like not 360, back and forth. Like they rock it back and forth
like winding your watch,
like
like
winding the
that.
watch. So you're spinning it instead of tugging out, you're spinning in and breaking loose whatever seems to be stuck by rotating it. And so like it kind of just like the back and forth little like twist rotate. I can't really do it with my hands, but like like it's basically like turning it like this, like
Yeah,
so it's like spinning a little bit.
yeah, back and
All right,
forth.
David, next year I will message you and I will actually set up a
We
show. I
definitely need
want
to have David on.
David's a badass, dude. He's an artist. Even like I would not mess with the man. He knows martial arts.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we definitely need to get David on. David, we go back way, way. I think we took David. Is remind me, did I take you to Vegas on your 20th? Oh, you're just like a day before you were 21. And we're sitting there on the craps table. He gets kicked out because he was one day too young.
was it?
And when he gets kicked out, I was on a good streak. And I'm like, uh, wherever he goes, wait
I'll
for
meet
his
you
ass.
outside, buddy.
Yeah,
Is
and
that?
then we couldn't find him. And then we found him in the back of an alley or something like that. Remind me, David, if that's, I'm pretty sure it was you. But yeah, good times, David. Um, another good tip for that, Shawn, that my urologist said was blow your balloon back up again, and that helped.
So inflate it again and then
Oh
deflate
yeah,
it.
so we pulled, and it's like ooh. So then we stopped, and then we put another fresh 5 cc's, and then deflated again, and that helped.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, maybe something else we can try as well. Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out. And I, for some, we've been doing the 2 week changes. And at the 2 week change, it doesn't seem to be too stuck. Like it comes out pretty easily. But for some reason, if I wait that third week, it's like stuck. It does it. And so like the only thing I can think of in my head, like what makes sense is like it's literally like bonding to the bladder wall, like over the time. Like I don't know what else to like because it bleeds when it comes out, like after that much time. So that's the good thing with the 2 week changes. They're loose. We get no blood, nothing in the urine. Like it's nice. So then
Oh my God, yeah, 20 years ago, David. Jeez.
20.
Yeah, and it was so funny. We looked down a street, and I see this guy on the ground. It was you, right? Not our other buddy, but I'm pretty sure it was him. And I thought he got hit by a car, but the car pulled over, and he was trying to help David, and David was just laughing, and the guy was laughing at first. I'm like, "What are you laughing at? He's on the ground." And then I realized he fell on his own. you know, so good times, David. Good times. Yeah, we took him a week before his birthday. One place we got drinks for him, no problem, at O'Shea's. If anybody remembers Vegas, old O'Shea's.
Yeah.
It was a little casino that had the Dunkin' Donuts and Subway in there, and some slot machines. It wasn't a hotel, but it was in between two big hotels like Bally's or something like that. So
That's funny. Yeah, that's when you're young, man. Those things.
yeah, Leon, that pulling of the tube when you have to when it gets pulled on, it hurts like hell. And I don't know about you, Shawn, but I sweat on the half side of my body for like half a day or most of the day.
My whole head sweats. My like
Oh,
forehead and the
mine
top of my head sweats like crazy.
mine is literally on my right side, just literally down the middle. Like if you put some kind of cloth that you can see sweat, it would be dry here, wet here. It is just insane.
Yeah, Leon said also it sounds like you had a crazy life, a good life. He mentioned also, but
Yeah, no, we had a good times.
uh,
Yeah, we need a live to roll Vegas run.
I
Um,
don't know. That might be on you guys.
you're like, no thanks. If we can afford it, that's the problem.
The only times I've been back to Vegas in the last like honestly probably close to like decade is for rugby tournaments.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure you went for.
Yeah, and which now they do have a team again and do tournaments again and stuff. But
Mm,
but yeah, that's like literally the only thing I've gone for in the last like decade. I haven't gone to Vegas for I think probably since I went with James for that New Year's trip back in
oh,
over a decade ago. So it's been quite a while.
well,
Not really
there was one
been
year
my
I didn't
thing.
even. We didn't even make. We made it on Friday, dropped off our chairs, and didn't make it back till Sunday night to pick up our chairs.
Wait, oh, from where were you in?
We went there for one of not a tournament, but
Oh,
the
oh,
summer
your rugby
blast
tours.
or whatever they called it. And
Oh
we
yeah, the
dropped off,
Summer Blast. I
and
I
then we
loved
didn't.
Summer Blast, man. I wish they still did that. Either in Oceanside or Vegas, man. That was a that was one of my favorite things for some reason, the Summer Blast, because you got to play with like all kinds of different people, and it was just fun. Like you win, lose a game, whatever it was over, and then you new team, new game, and
Oh,
uh,
those were the best because our team at times wasn't the greatest. Well, I'll say stinks, and it was great to play with other players. You're like, whoa, this is what it's like to play with this kind of player.
that's where
Someone that knows how
I actually
to
got
throw a
recruited
pig.
at a Summer Blast out in Vegas by Ed Olson. They recruited me up to play for Sierra Storm for their up in like Reno, Sacramento team up there because they needed a point five. And they were like, they thought I was like strong enough. And Mike DeYoung got all the damn playing time in Northridge. So I was happy. I was like, you guys want me to play and start?
No problem.
Yeah, no, I was like, I was making trips up to Sacramento for practices once a month. We were doing like two tournaments a month. It was a fun rugby year for sure. That was cool. But yeah, when I was at a summer blast, Ed was like, came up to me after one of the games, was like, "Hey, you play pretty good." I'm like, Oh yeah.
Nice.
I just felt it just was cool, which and that was a great experience for me, getting to play outside of Northridge like a rugby coach who really knew what he was doing because they had Ed and then they also had Rick Mason was the coach up there. I don't know if you know who Rich Mason.
Oh yeah.
We had his daughter on here after he had passed away because he was also definitely one of my like mentors and that helped with like especially like rugby and some other stuff that year where
Mhm.
I played for them for sure. It was cool. So, anyways, just shout out to that memories.
Yeah, Daryl, if you're still here by any means, but Happy New Year. I know you got to run. And Shawn said it. He's like me, right side headache and sweating. Yeah, same thing.
That's interesting. You guys only get on the one side,
Yeah, it
and
is
I've
a
heard
strange.
that from a lot of people. But for me, yeah, I get it just all over through
And
like
and mine changed. It used to be everywhere, young when I was younger, and then just I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago, I just noticed it on this side.
huh. So that's what I do wonder. Like I know we had talked even years ago about some changes and stuff as you were getting older and things like and so like I am kind of I feel like I'm there because I'm 21 years into the injury now. So like I also feel like not only age but just time of being in the chair and having the catheter and things like it just the more time you have it, the more I feel like like things are going to change and alter because like it's just not going to stay
Yeah,
like
it does.
it's
It
hard
does.
for it
And
to stay stable
you
like
know,
that long.
I notice the way I put on a shirt or take off my shirt, it's not the same, because
Huh.
you're not as flexible, and you feel it. You feel it everywhere, and especially in the morning. I'm not dedicated like you when still in bed and stretch. I That's why I love to coach early in the morning, because then I stretch with the crew that I'm coaching, so that helps. But yeah, stretching in the morning. But it's still I'm still putting on my t-shirt, and it's like, oh man, this is just it just doesn't seem as easy. Reaching back there and trying to pull it down. It just seems like it's an impossible task. And my wife walks by and she's like, and I'm like this with my head down. She goes, "Are you trying to tell me you want your shirt down?" I'm like, yeah. So it's funny how your wife will learn when you'll do something and she's like, "Are you telling me you want this?" Without saying anything.
Yeah, I know those are not the best habits to get into and just because I know I've done that a lot through my life and just yeah, but trying to get away. But I do know what you're saying. Like it is uh like a little bit harder, but that's one thing that like I still like to make sure I do that kind of stuff like putting on my shirt, pulling it down, stuff like that like just so I don't lose, like the ability to have. I feel like it all helps me with stretching, moving things. But the only thing that's scary sometimes, I don't know if you get these or not. Um, Sometimes I'm trying to take my shirt off later in the day, especially because like my body kind of seems to build spasms back up through the day. Like I get like more tone throughout my core and stuff. So sometimes when I do my lean back to try to like pull the shirt up and like to get it around my shoulder back here, and I like lean back, it triggers some little spasm where it wants to like pull me forward again and like my legs up and like tip me back. It's just it's uncomfortable and I gotta make sure like I gotta if I feel like it's coming, I make sure that like I'll go back and stop
Yeah.
getting because like I don't want to get caught with my elbow up in the shirt and then like and then I'm screwed because I can't catch anything like and
Mhm.
I've gotten close a couple times where I've like almost gotten stuck with my elbow in the shirt and like
No,
started
I did.
not
I,
fun.
I went. I went back. You got the NI tippers, and I know
Yeah.
because of your spasms. But I've done that where I pull my shirt up and back, and hit. We have in my bedroom a brick glass wall that surrounds the bathroom. So yeah, I caught the edge of that brick wall.
See, that's what scares me. Stuff like that, hitting like
Yeah.
the edge of a corner or something, or a wall.
So
Uh,
now I lean forward and try to get my shirt out. So if I start to have that, I'm already leaning forward,
nice. Yeah,
and
that's
then
what you got to just learn.
yeah, you have to kind of wiggle those spasms out back and forth. So
Yep. No, that's I do that too. Yeah, that's I try to like you kind of like let them try to release it like little bits at a time instead of like the one big one where it's like throws you.
Mm.
So uh,
We're getting towards the end, Sean, and
yeah,
I
we
have
are getting close here.
one more. Anything that stand out show wise in 2024?
Hmm. I feel like we've had actually some really good, fun shows, some good guests. One of the ones I really like doing. Uh, well, we've had a couple, but I really did like doing the ADA one with the lawyer group. Which were you off? I think you had missed
Yeah,
that
I wasn't able to make
week.
it that day for
And
some
that one
reason.
more just so because like I felt like the information was just really cool and fun. Like it was really good for people to be able to talk to like like people that are doing that type of law and like all around the country and just and they were really good guests on there. But also I feel like I've really enjoyed like highlighting a lot of people through the community, like having like I had Kelly and Karen on again from KFK last week, which was the second time. But both times getting to talk to them, like even like
I
Chad from Chair Life and getting to highlight everything they're doing. Like
and
that
making
kind of
new
stuff has just been
friends.
so cool.
Yeah, I was making new friends. Like, now I talk to Chad a lot and, texting him back and forth um, and I'll get to see him coming up, soon. So, yeah, it's always just great to learn about, and get to know people. But one thing that I, wanted to point out is I like it when we have guests that have these different careers that have nothing to do with their disability. So when we had that gentleman on who does makeup
Oh yeah, that was fun.
for the
Yeah,
movies, I was just like, we didn't even really talk about disability stuff except for, what is it like to be on set and, how's it do on your arms, being that you're, to find a good position to do that kind of makeup. But, it was kind of cool to have people like that had nothing to do with their disability.
yeah. No, that I think that's cool too. Definitely just highlighting what people are doing and like kind of other people's stories. And yeah, Leon mentioned having Leon on was one of her favorite shows, and that was fun. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like
Oh
getting
yeah.
to meet Leon from the chat and talk to him, and honestly, just really connected, and it was just super cool. Getting to know him, and um, that was also fun. Just all that stuff. And then even we had that one recently, the epilepsy one with Megan and Melanie. Um,
Yeah.
Again, something we really didn't have a lot of knowledge on, information on, but it was just kind of fun to hear what they had to say on all that stuff and like hear what that's like, that life and things. So like I like kind of knowing about the different other, what people are doing, like what they're dealing with, and so hopefully we've been able to highlight a lot of that stuff for you guys this year, and um, people enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Definitely finding out. I mean, most of us here are probably spinal cord, and but it's always great to learn about. I want to, hopefully in 2025 get somebody with a brain injury and some other multiple things that go along. I mean, we know a lot of those who have, not only broken their back or their neck, but also lost a limb. And the challenges that go with that. And
Yeah, that's what actually I do want to try to even do. I'm gonna have Mark from the Mark Network on again. I know, and another amputee we met last year at the Abilities Expo. I still have to invite on. I kind of screwed up all year not getting them on. But yeah, stuff like that. It is great to like highlight and see.
yeah, and our friend, oh, and he's going to kill me if he's watching. Oh, I want to say Trevor, and I don't think that's from the. He's got brittle bones disease.
Oh, Tony. Yeah,
Tony.
Tony.
I don't know
Yep,
why I
Tony.
wanted. I
He was
knew
a
his.
really fun guest too. Great to get to know.
Yeah,
Awesome. Oh, David,
Tony.
that's actually a great topic for a show. Colitis with an SCI. Um, I don't know anybody personally. If you do deal with colitis, that would might be. I mean, I want to
Well,
highlight you personally, David, and have you on the show. But that would be a great topic if you do deal with that, or if know anybody that does. Because yeah, that's a
David, I think David, you have it right. So think David has it.
Might, yeah. So that if you want to ever talk about, I'm going to reach out to you, David, this next year and get you, or like for next week and schedule something, get it going. But
And
yeah, thanks.
here's a good plug, Shawn. Sabat said, "Nice hat, Bobby." So
Yeah,
you want to talk about that?
yeah. Real quick, as we are going to wrap the show right now. Um, if you do want to get some Live to Roll merch, everything is up on the website right now. You can order. We have hats, shirts, beanies, hoodies, all in stock. So check them out if you want, and use LTR Fam is the code we have on the back of our little thing. It's 10% off if you guys want to use a discount code and
And
check.
if you act now before the end of the year, we're gonna slash that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I actually did have a Black Friday sale up. Actually, no, that's right. I have a Black Friday sale that does end. It ends today, though. I had it ending at the end of the year
Oh,
for
so what?
20%
Yeah.
off. That's just hashtag thankful, thankful 24. So that was from Black Friday, and I had that one open until today. But yeah, if you can't afford it and you need the 20% discount, message me and I'll get you a discount code. We'll get you set up. Like I would rather you have the stuff than and be able to represent it for us. And yeah, so we appreciate the support. If anybody does want to get that, and I actually do have an order to ship out. I believe to Leon's caregiver, which I hope that wasn't a surprise for you, Leon. My bad. Did I screw that up? I screwed that up, didn't I? Well,
Yeah, I got your info, bud. I had your number still, David.
well, uh, yeah, and Happy New Year's, everybody. And David, I don't know if I have your number. I'll get it from Bobby if I don't, and I know I have you on Facebook. I think though, so I can, if I don't, I'll get it from Bobby or message you on there. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and then let's go ahead and shout our sponsors out too,
Mm.
because really appreciate our sponsors for the year. I have actually finally gotten to where the sponsors are actually covering all of the Live to Roll cost and fund so that I don't have to fund out of pocket. So thank you so much for mobility professionals and urology professionals so that I don't have to use my social security and other forms of money to fund Live to Roll. So we really appreciate our sponsors going into 2025 as well. I know they have already seem to be ready to support us through another year. So thank you. If you do need any DME, durable medical equipment, and like a wheelchair, standing frame, commode chair, anything like that, and you're in the Southern California area, definitely reach out to them. They are a good business out here. They really will take the time. They have good customer service if you call, and they will help you out with everything. And Urology Professionals is their sister company. They're nationwide. So if you need catheters anywhere in the country, they can ship them directly to your doorstep. So give them a call. They'll check out and make sure your insurance and everything works and is good, and they'll help you to get everything switched over and set up. So give them a
Unfortunately,
call.
our friends and like Sam and from Australia, they don't ship out
Yeah,
that
they
well.
won't. No, unfortunately, yeah, they don't do international, but I do know they even ship to Alaska because we have somebody that's from the show that ordered one of our viewers that did start getting their urological supplies up in Alaska. So pretty awesome. So yeah, so reach out to them. And then also, Happy New Year, everybody, as well. But we have on Thursday, and they should still be on Rolling with the Golden Oldies. The ladies will be on this Thursday. So the day after New Year's, everybody hang out, celebrate their New Year's, relax for the day, and then come out on Thursday, visit with these very knowledgeable ladies.
Wealth of
They have a
knowledge.
ton of experience. And I forget, I think they're just going to be talking about kind of like going into the new year, sort of a general like health and well being sort of thing. But check in to make sure, find out on Thursday. um, and I guess we'll just go ahead and shout out as well. The following Thursday, Bobby will be on again. Bobby, Robert, Luis be doing Rolling Over the Hill.
You
They should have
have
a
to
great.
join us, everyone. And we're doing a little mini fundraiser, Shawn. So I don't know if you were watching or heard about it, but Luis wants to shave his beard, and we said don't shave it. On our next Live to Roll, Rolling Over the Hill, that if we can raise $250, he can shave it off live on the show. So if you want to see somebody get their beard shaved off, we're trying to raise 250. We already got a $40 donation that Black Olive sent in on that day, so put it towards the 250. So now we just need $210,
All
and
right, and
Louise
we'll
will
count
shave that off.
any super chat donation, anything like that comes through, definitely count that. So yeah, that's awesome. I actually didn't hear that. I've been meaning to rewatch the show because I was half watching while we were visiting with my mom and brother since they were visiting here that Thursday. They were leaving the next day, but we did have it on, and I was listening, but just I didn't catch that part, so I'll have to rewatch and make sure. But that's awesome. I hope we can raise the money, maybe even throw a little donation in myself to see Luis's beard come off.
He's like, he's like, and when I gave him the challenge, he's like, no, not 2 more weeks. He's just sitting there itching it. So it was pretty funny. So I gave him the little challenge.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And I'll have to rewatch that show too because I will be up in Big Bear or maybe coming down from Big Bear next Thursday. I'm doing some skiing with USARK. So I appreciate Bobby's going to be the man of the hour, the big man, hosting, producing, doing everything. So make sure to tune in next Thursday and hang out, raise some money for shaving Luis's face. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Hope everybody has a great New Year's Eve and has had a happy holiday season. Great New Year's Day tomorrow. We really appreciate your support. And yeah, we'll see you guys on Thursday with the ladies, and we'll be back next Tuesday. Live to roll, everybody.
Live to roll. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah.